Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Adam.
Coming up on today's episode, we discuss Disney's recent movie trailer releases and award season nominations. We cover the latest Disney news and chat with our friend Paul about the recently published book, Walt Disney's Disneyland, as part of our Disney Holiday Gift Guide. We close out the show with a new segment called Disney Thunderdome. All that and more on this episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Patrick. I have some excellent news to start off the show.
Share it with me.
Joey Fatone is now a Candlelight Processional narrator.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Just announced today he's going to be hosting on the 24th and the 25th.
Oh, Joy Fatwan. Is that how you say it?
Who do you think was on the list above Joey Fatone that they finally got down to Joey Fatone? Who turned down the Candlelight Processional or was too busy to do it?
Oh, gosh. I'm going Shelley Long.
Shelley Long, for sure, was way too busy.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't do it.
She had things to do.
She had things to do.
She had tables to serve.
Charo turned it down.
I'm going to go with the Cheers theme and go Rhea Perlman.
Oh, yeah. Rhea Perlman. She has a lot going on.
She sure does.
Yeah.
Well, good job, Joey Fatone.
Yeah, he's going to be hosting the 24th and the 25th.
Wow.
But I have even better news than that.
I hope you do.
How can it get better than that?
A lot of things.
We have the results from the Share Your Ears campaign.
Oh.
And guess what?
Tell me about it.
$3 million is going straight into the bank account.
Amazing.
Of
Patrick Kazuki.
No.
Oh.
Of Make-A-Wish.
Amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
It is incredible.
We helped make that happen, Patrick.
I believe that you and I were the pushing.
Right. At least $10.
We did it. We pushed them over the edge.
That's right.
We gave upwards of $10 to $15.
That's right. Just by putting on those ears and taking a photo and posting it to social media.
Absolutely.
Next year, let's you and I shoot for $20.
Yeah. Maybe 8 to 9 people will look at our Instagram next year.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Any dream can come true.
Hey, heading back to the Candlelight Processional, we need to talk about the Disney Parks Live stream.
We sure do.
Of the Candlelight Processional. It was your first experience seeing the Candlelight Processional.
That's absolutely right. We talked about it on the last episode, and I got to watch it just a couple days ago. It was so beautiful. I had no idea.
Narrated by Neil Patrick Harris.
Absolutely. He did a wonderful job. I have to say, I'm not always the biggest fan of Neil Patrick Harris. Everyone else is, so I'm in the minority here, but he did such a great job. I really applauded him at the end of that.
I thought he was fantastic. He kept it light.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that we saw a picture of his family before the concert actually began. We saw him and his husband and his 2 adorable children.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. The whole, I can't even explain it. It was so orally and visually.
Orally?
Yeah.
Orally?
Orally. Yeah.
Oh, my mind went to a different place.
Oh, you had me going there. I was like, what did I say? It was just, my mind was blown, to be frank about it. It made me want to go to Epcot for the holidays.
The sound quality was not the greatest, right? I mean, it was a live stream over the internet.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
So it wasn't great. So I just want to make a pitch for anyone who wants to experience it live.
Yeah.
The choir and the orchestra is phenomenal live. The sound quality is like 10 times better. Obviously, it's live, so it is 10 times better.
Which is amazing because it was actually fine. It wasn't terrible, but it was, it was okay.
Yeah.
So it made me, like I said, it made me want to go and experience it live because I imagine it's 100 times better live than it was on this this digital experience.
It's a beautiful program. When I saw it live, I saw it with Jodie Benson, Ariel, as the narrator. Yeah. And she was really into it. She was singing along with the choir and giving a lot of deep shoulder moves. Like she was feeling it.
Yeah, she was.
So Neil was a little bit more reserved for me.
Yeah.
Which I also appreciated. I like the two kind of...
He held back and he let the choir and the orchestra do their thing.
Yeah.
And they did their thing. It was incredible. And I loved that the choir was dressed as a Christmas tree sort of behind the narrator.
Yes.
It was beautiful. Disney does perfection when it comes to these kind of shows. That's what I love about Disney is that when it comes to these shows, they may be, a little bit corny for some people. They may be a little bit kitschy, but you know what? They are perfect every time. They don't skimp on the details.
Listen, Christmas can be corny and kitschy, I think. Like it's meant for that.
You bet.
And did you notice who was the very tip top of the Christmas tree?
I did. I noticed her a lot because they showed her a lot. Who was that?
Shelley Long.
I was like, wait, what?
That's what she was doing. She couldn't host because she was the peak of the Christmas tree.
She sure was. Adam's kidding, by the way.
I'm kidding.
But whoever that was, she was having the time of her life.
Phenomenal. You have to be a star to be up there.
Yeah.
Don't lock those knees or you will pass out.
I was actually worried. I was like, how are they not locking their knees and falling backwards? That would be very embarrassing.
Moving on.
Yeah.
We had a lot to talk about. It was a big week for Disney films,
it was
right?
A cinematic experience this week.
All right, let's talk about the trailers first of all.
Oh, okay.
Captain Marvel.
Man alive.
Captain Marvel, which is coming out on March 8th, 2019.
Yeah.
Had a new trailer premiere.
Sure did.
Full of kitty. Captain Marvel's cat Goose was in it.
It's true. It was a nice little cameo. It was beautiful.
Do you like that was the first thing I brought up, the kitty?
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we start a podcast with a little kitty?
This movie looks like it's going to be action-packed.
And comedy-packed a little bit. I have to say, Brie Larson is a wonderful actress, but also a wonderful comedian. And so I think they chose her very wisely for this role.
And Samuel L. Jackson is in it, and he's phenomenal as well.
That's right. Also a very gifted, dramatic, and comedic actor.
And Patrick, Annette Bening is in it.
I have been waiting for Annette Bening to appear since Being Julia.
Yeah,
remember? Yeah, she had a very big role in this trailer, so I'm hoping she has a pretty big role in the movie.
It seems like a very important role, right? I mean, it's Annette Bening, so...
Also, Jude Law is in this as well.
Jude Law's in it.
Yeah, man. Can we not get enough of him?
We can't get enough of him.
I mean, between Fantastic Beasts and now this... it's been a good year. It's been a good year.
Also premiering last week, the Avengers Endgame trailer. That's right. We now know the name of the movie. It's called Avengers Endgame, and the movie opens April 26th, 2019, earlier than expected.
Boy, oh boy, this is not hyperbole. This trailer made me shiver.
Yeah, it is intense. I gotta say, if you haven't seen it yet, you may want to fast forward a few seconds. The first moments of that trailer with Iron Man sitting in that ship, basically saying goodbye to Pepper Potts. That's powerful stuff.
It reminded me a little bit of that Sandra Bullock movie. What was it called? Gravity? That just happened recently, where it's just that sort of loneliness in space.
Yes.
It was beautiful and touching and, gave me the shivers.
And this is the culmination of basically a 10-year story arc on Marvel's part, right?
Yeah.
Like we've had all these movies building up to this finale of sorts. It's also kind of a introduction into the next storylines too, right? Because Marvel movies will continue after this movie. It'll just be kind of like a different version of Marvel movies.
We had someone write into us on Instagram that said, I started watching these movies as a child and I wanted to just slap him.
Yeah, he's too young.
Because he's so young and we're so old.
Yeah, Dane, we're talking about you.
You know who you are.
How you were so young when these movies started? I was out of college, sir.
I was working on a mortgage to my house. How very dare you. Talking about movies,
yes,
some awards have been nominated and bestowed upon Disney. Should we talk about them?
Just a few. We should talk about them.
Just a few. Just a lot.
Just a lot.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the Annies?
I wish we would.
Do you like how I say that in my super Midwestern? Annies?
I thought you were very Broadway. The sun don't come out.
So the 46th International Animated Film Society Award nominations came out. They're also known as the Annies. And Pixar's Incredibles 2 and Walt Disney Animation Studios' Ralph Breaks the Internet were both nominated in several categories, including Best Animated Feature.
Amazing. Who's going to win?
I think Incredibles 2.
I'm with you on that one.
I want it to win. That's the one I want to win.
Yeah.
I loved The Incredibles and I loved the sequel. I actually thought the sequel was better than the first movie.
I would agree with you. The art direction is so beautiful in that movie. I just love it.
Mary Poppins Returns also received nominations, but we haven't seen that yet.
That's right. We were just talking about how it's so weird to have movies nominated for these awards when they haven't been released yet. But hey, it just gives us more impetus to go buy those tickets.
And we already have our tickets.
We sure do for opening night.
VIP, baby.
What?
Mary Poppins Returns received Annie nominations for character design, production design, storyboarding, and it will actually compete with The Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet and other fully animated features for the storyboarding category, which is so crazy.
What a weird award.
Yeah.
How do they get in there to see the storyboards? I want to be part of that.
That's a really good point.
I want to be part of that nominating committee.
The film also received nominations for character animation in a live-action production, which makes sense, right? Because there's that scene where they kind of pop into animated sequences again, much like the original.
Right. I'm excited to see that. We haven't seen much of that in the trailers, so I'm excited to see that for the film.
Yeah. And Best Animated Special Production, which is kind of a vague category, but okay.
Special production.
Those Annies.
Wow.
I can't wrap my head around them.
Well, the sun will come out tomorrow for the Annies.
The 46th Annual Annie Awards will take place on Saturday, February 2nd in Los Angeles, California.
Additionally, the Golden Globes have announced their nominations, and Disney showed up. So I'm just going to go by movie for this one.
Please do.
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Which is, it's so weird. It seems like that happened years and years ago, doesn't it?
I mean, to be fair, it came out in February of this year.
It's been a long year, Adam. It's been a long year. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So Black Panther is nominated for Best Motion Picture in a Drama.
That's right. That's Marvel's first nomination for a Best Picture category. That's incredible.
Amazing. It's also nominated for Best Original Score for a Motion Picture by Ludwig Göransson?
Good luck. Yeah, I think so.
Göransson,
probably.
G-O with an umlaut over it?
Yep.
R-A-N-S-S-O-N.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Some Scandinavian right there.
That's right. And also Best Original Song for a Motion Picture for All the Stars.
Ooh, I love that song.
I love that movie.
I was so happy to see this nomination come through. What a validation, not only for Marvel, but Ryan Coogler, who directed Black Panther.
Yeah.
Major props to him. I feel like a kid saying that. I feel like a cool kid. Major props to Ryan Coogler.
Look at you with the lingo.
The Annie Awards came out. Anyway, I was just really excited to see that because I did really love that movie. I actually think it is one of the best Marvel movies to come out of all of them.
On those lines, also just a movie heavily cast by women and people of color.
Yeah.
Just such a feat that we have not seen in a long time, and such a great accomplishment. It's amazing. Amazing film. So moving on, we also have Mary Poppins Returns for the Golden Globes, nominated for, again, Best Motion Picture, this time in a musical or comedy. Also, Emily Blunt is nominated for Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Lin-Manuel Miranda is nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. And Mark Shaman is nominated for Best Original Score in a Motion Picture.
Again, I mean, we'll see. I'm sure it's great.
These are some heavy hitting nominations, I have to say.
Yeah, everything I've heard so far is that it's actually really great. So I'm excited to see it.
I think it'll be just fine.
You have no faith in Disney. Get off this podcast.
I do. So also nominated are The Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet, both for motion picture in an animated film.
That's right. They're going head to head.
I have to say, I might go with Ralph Breaks the Internet on this one.
Oh, really? You think that's going to win?
Listen, I think of the two movies, The Incredibles 2 is my favorite of the two as a movie as a whole.
Yeah.
But for animation, I think Ralph Breaks the Internet did some amazing feats in the amount of animation that they did, and also the differentiation between the animations that they did from scene to scene. I think the accomplishments they made in animation were greater than the accomplishments in Incredibles 2. Again, though, I loved The Incredibles 2 more as a movie.
I like The Incredibles 2. That's my pick.
Everything I said is dumb.
The Golden Globes are live on NBC on January 6th, 2019, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
Thank you.
And now we got to talk about the next movie topic.
Uh-oh.
Cruella de Vil,
Cruella de Vil.
If she doesn't scare you, no
Adam will.
I definitely will.
Are those the words?
Those are the words.
Thank you.
That was actually the original cut, the original take.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of that one.
It's true.
The Cruella de Vil origin story film
I'm so excited for this movie.
found its director.
Wait, really?
The movie is tentatively titled Cruella. We'll see if that sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Or supposedly titled. I guess we don't really know for sure.
Yeah, this is all rumor has it.
It stars Emma Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And this has kind of been out there for a long time. Like this project, we've kind of been aware of it.
There's been whispers.
Was Emma attached? Wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, director Craig Gillespie is replacing Mozart in the Jungle co-creator Alex Timbers as the director for Cruella.
Now I'm hearing this is just in talks still. Is that right?
I think this is locked down.
You think it's locked down?
You heard it here first, folks.
Uh-oh.
Adam thinks it's locked down, so it's locked down.
We're making a bold claim.
Facts. Craig Gillespie directed Lars and the Real Girl, starring your favorite
Baby Goose.
Yeah, you love you some Ryan Gosling.
Oof, Baby Goose.
He also most recently directed I, Tonya.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also a Broadway director. Did you know that, Patrick?
I did know that.
He directed Beetlejuice, which will be coming to Broadway, and he also directed Moulin Rouge, which will also be coming to Broadway. I saw it.
I know, you did not love it.
Listen, if you love the movie Moulin Rouge, maybe don't see the musical Moulin Rouge.
Fair.
It's really different.
Okay.
Cruella is supposedly going to be an origin story set in early 1980s with a punk vibe. Let's unpack that, Patrick. Let's explore the space.
Well, coming from this director, I have to say it seems a little bit more edgy, a little bit darker, because he hasn't had a lot of experience in like light and bright movies. He's got a little bit of an edge to him, right?
Yeah, and I, Tonya was very funny in a dark kind of black comedy sort of way.
Very dark. Yeah.
Right. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, don't hate me for saying this,
mm-hmm.
but I think this could be more successful than like Pinocchio starring Tom Hanks could be, or more successfully pulled off.
Okay.
What do you think about my statement?
You know that we differ on the Pinocchio topic. I'm excited for that movie as well.
Yeah. I love Emma Stone.
I just think they're going to be very different movies. I think this is going to be a little bit of a lighter, dark edge, whereas I imagine Pinocchio's going to be kind of a dark edge to it.
You know they're going to call her Crew, right? And like she's going to work in like a an animal hospital.
Yeah. She's going to have one earring.
Yeah, but she's going to be like, she's going to love animals, and then we're going to find out how she turns to hate animals.
Absolutely.
And like she's going to go out to the punk clubs, and they're going to be like, oh, Crew, I can't believe you have to go home and go to bed to like work at the animal hospital tomorrow.
And then she's going to rave all night long with some glow sticks.
Yeah, and then she's going to come like wandering into the animal hospital and be like, I can't do this anymore. I can't party.
I just can't possibly.
And then one of the dogs is going to bite her, and then that's how it all starts.
Are we going to see her smoke in this movie?
That was my big question. You know, they won't do that. They won't do that.
You never know.
But that cigarette is such a huge part of Cruella de Vil.
Are we going to see her purchase her first Cadillac?
Isn't it a Rolls Royce?
You know how I'm big on cars. I clearly meant a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, sure.
I was just thinking about the car that I drive.
Although if it's set in the 80s, quite frankly, it very well could be a Cadillac.
It's true. She might wear her sunglasses at night.
They're going to be like, oh, Crew, take off your sunglasses while you're driving your Cadillac. You can't wear those at night.
And she's going to say, get out of my dreams and into my car.
Get out of my dreams.
Ba-dum.
Get into my car.
It's a musical episode today.
Going back to our friend Dane on Instagram.
Yes.
When I posted about this Cruella story on our Instagram account at GDTD Podcast, he said, feel torn. I kind of like the mystery of the Disney villains. And that's an excellent point. Are we giving away too much? Like, isn't it cooler that we don't really know their backstory sometimes? Does it make them even more evil?
Nope.
Okay.
I like backstory.
Okay.
I like a backstory. I mean, listen, we're going to the Star Wars movies. We're doing all the backstories of the Star Wars characters, right? I kind of like that. We're into it. It's got a good audience base. I hear what you're saying, but you're wrong, Dane.
Oh, such disdain for Dane.
Uh-oh. So that's a lot of cinematic excitement for Disney.
So much cinemagic.
Look what you did there. You're beautiful.
Yes.
Speaking of excitement,
Yeah.
you've got some exciting shout-outs, I hear.
I sure do. Patrick,
Yes?
I'm going to give you a tale of two Matthews.
I love tales.
A Matthew moment.
Uh-oh.
So in our last episode, when we listed our Fab Five heroes, I listed Moana.
Mm-hmm.
But I said I didn't really know who designed Moana.
That's right. Neither of us knew.
And our Instagram friend, Matt.T.B.R.
So many dots.
Matt, to be real. That's what I think that means. I'm
I like
guessing.
it. I like it.
Matt.T.B.R.
To be real.
Who's from Boston and is an animator.
Oh.
And you can check out his animations at tinysiren.com. He's very talented.
I shall do that.
He alerted us that the costumes for Moana were designed by Nessa Beauvais.
Okay.
And Disney hired her specifically because she used to be a fashion designer for Barbie.
Oh, wow.
That totally makes sense to me. They were planning ahead. They were thinking like dolls, merchandising. And so we know that she designed the outfits that Moana wore.
Yeah.
So we know at least that part of Moana.
Okay.
We don't necessarily know the actual character.
We're unlocking the puzzle.
But we really thank Matt.T.B.R. for that information.
Thanks, Matt. To be real.
On to Matthew 2.
Yes?
Maddie B, and that's MATTYBEEEE.
So many E's.
There's 4. Maddie B from the San Francisco Bay Area, who is a triathlete, who loves to crochet, who loves to drink champagne, Patrick.
Is this my husband, Dan?
Does Dan crochet?
No, he also doesn't do triathlon. So nope.
Okay.
This is just who
So
I am.
1 out of 3.
This is just who I want my husband to be, apparently.
Maddie B reached out to us and left us a really lovely message on Instagram. He and his husband had just returned from their first trip to Walt Disney World.
Aww.
And were feeling a little blue and discovered our podcast. And so they just burned through it. And because they were feeling blue, they just this past weekend drove down to Disneyland with their friend to just have a weekend at Disneyland.
Just on a casual whim.
Yeah.
On the way to get some apples. They're like, hey, while we're out, let's
head
go to
down
Disneyland.
Let's head down to Anaheim. Have a little Disney weekend. So we hope you guys had fun while you were visiting Mickey Mouse in Disneyland. And thank you for the very sweet message. And last but not least, Patrick,
Yeah.
we have a big giveaway. Our next giveaway.
I love things that are big. I love giving things away.
Our December giveaway.
Yeah.
That will carry the recipient into the new year.
Uh-oh.
What is our giveaway, Patrick?
Do we need a drum roll?
Give me a drum roll, Patrick.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. It sounds like a dolphin that is having some intestinal issues. Yes. This is going to be incredibly unpleasant for listeners to
It's a snare drum.
experience. What?
It's because they're higher pitched than other drums.
Our
I have no idea what drums sound like. I have no idea. Never heard a drum in my life.
Our giveaway.
Yeah.
Our giveaway is a Disney A Year of Animation 2019 daily calendar.
What?
So every day you're going to have a new sheet, a new Disney fact, a new Disney animation to look at. A full year of that. 365 days.
Can I enter the contest?
You cannot.
Rude.
But I will tell you how people can enter the contest.
Okay, lay it on me.
They can enter by visiting our Instagram account at GDTD Podcast and by leaving a comment and tagging 3 of their Disney-loving friends.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
I like it.
So when you head to our Instagram account, you'll see the post with the picture of the calendar. Simply comment below with 3 of your Disney-loving friends' Instagram handles. And you're entered to win.
And if they want to win and gift it to me, you can use the hashtag gift for Patrick, right?
No. That's not going to happen.
Oh.
No. I'll tell you what is going to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some news.
Oh, okay. Now through December 15th, for every new unwrapped toy donation at either a Disney store or online at the Shop Disney website, Disney will donate $5 to Toys for Tots until they reach $1 million.
They're just giving out the money left and right.
Just bills on bills on bills on bills.
'Tis the season.
I love you, Disney. Fun fact, Toys for Tots is actually called the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. I did not know that prior to this. The mission of the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation is to assist the U.S. Marine Corps in providing a tangible sign of hope to economically disadvantaged children at Christmas. Of course, you can donate toys or dollars to any Toys for Tots chapter or donation location, but to donate and have Disney chip in with an extra $5 per toy, visit your local Disney store with a new unwrapped toy to donate. Or, again, you can go online at shopdisney.com and they have a selection of toys available to purchase for Toys for Tots at a discounted price. To learn more about Toys for Tots, visit toysfortots.org. Speaking of Toys for Tots, the Disney Volunteers, EARS volunteers, have done it again. Disney volunteers, made up of Disney cast members, have already collected nearly 30,000 toys in Walt Disney World for this year's drive for Toys for Tots. And, of course, earlier this holiday season, 35 Disney volunteers delivered those toys to the distribution center in a truly Disney fashion, via minivan.
Of course.
Of course they did. I'm told they were not charged the $250 fee to deliver those
I hope
toys.
not.
No. And over the next few weeks, more volunteers will continue to help out in the warehouse by sorting and distributing toys to families all over Central Florida. Just coming out of the Share Your Ears campaign, this is another wonderful way in which Disney gives back to the community.
That's right. And this is the time of year to do it, right? I mean, obviously, any time of the year is the time to do it. But because it is the holidays, there is that kind of giving momentum that the season provides.
Exactly. And they're making it so easy to do. You can even just do it from your home. Go online at shopdisney.com. They have a selection of toys. I did it. I bought a little Stitch toy that you can donate. And it's a fantastic experience. It's a fantastic time of year to do it. Well done, Disney.
So, Patrick, there's this movie that's going to be opening.
I've heard a little bit about it.
It's called Mary Poppins Returns.
Ah, yes.
It's opening December 19th, 2018.
Of course.
And there's some memorabilia from it.
Great.
Do you want to see it?
I guess so.
I'm going to tell you how you can see it, Patrick.
Oh, tell me.
The art of Mary Poppins Returns is currently located inside the lobby of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln at Disneyland Park. The limited time gallery features original art, costumes, props, and video clips from the film.
I like it. Nothing says England, Mary Poppins, like going to see Abraham Lincoln.
That's right. When you think of Mary Poppins, you definitely think of historic American experiences.
Yeah, it's such a good hand-in-hand combination.
All joking aside, the gallery that they have there is an excellent space to view some of the memorabilia from the film.
And I heard that Abraham Lincoln's hat also stores a coat rack.
That's right. A coat rack, a lamppost. Mm-hmm. There's some birds inside there.
That's right. My soul, I think, is inside of it.
Oh, that's where it is?
Yeah.
We found it.
Finally. Tickets are now on sale for the Edison's New Year's Eve party in Disney Springs. There are a limited number of tickets, so make your reservations now if you'll be in the area. Tickets include tray-passed hors d'oeuvres, live-action food stations. What does live-action food mean, Adam?
I'm thinking like some kung fu.
Okay.
I'm thinking some karate.
Okay.
I'm thinking some jujitsu.
Great.
Yeah,
great.
But it's the food doing it?
Okay, it's a very Beauty and the Beast meets Kung Fu Panda situation.
Yeah, I want to see that movie.
Okay, I like it. I like it. And there's also going to be a wide selection of beer and wine and premium spirits. So from 7:30 p.m. until midnight, you can experience all of this and more, plus a selection of coffee, desserts, and a celebratory midnight toast to ring in the new year.
I love toast at midnight.
So much toast.
Just a nice snack.
Yeah, just some toast and some butter. Tickets are on sale for $150. How do you feel about that price?
I haven't been to the Edison.
Okay.
I'm curious about the Edison.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared of the Edison.
Okay.
I feel like there's going to be like a performance artist right up in my grill while I'm trying to enjoy a soup.
Probably a lot of light bulbs.
A lot of light bulbs.
You would hope.
Yeah, and a lot of like corsets and a lot of steampunk shenanigans.
Okay. I feel like I want to live there.
Oh.
Actually, this is my comfort zone. You can purchase your tickets to the Edison at theedisonfla.com.
From May 16th, 2019 That's my birthday.
Yay.
Through January 6th, 2020, the Walt Disney Family Museum, located in San Francisco, California, will present Mickey Mouse from Walt to the World, a celebration of animation's most beloved and recognizable character. This original exhibition chronicles Mickey's influence on art and entertainment over the past 9 decades and tells the story of his origin, rise to fame, and enduring worldwide appeal in relation to Walt Disney's inspiring parallel story.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Guest curated by legendary animator Andreas Deja, Mickey Mouse from Walt to the World features more than 400 objects, including rare and never-before-seen original sketches, character model sheets, and concept artwork, together with nostalgic merchandise, vintage photographs, and a variety of Mickey's earliest and most recent animated short films. Visitors will also have the opportunity to view artistic interpretations of the world's most famous mouse from various artists. On top of that, Patrick, there will be exclusive talks as part of the exhibition. There will be a museum members-only event opening the exhibition with a preview from guest curator Andreas Deja.
Wow.
And that will occur on Wednesday, May 15th, also known as the day before my birthday.
That makes me want to get a membership and move to San Francisco.
There will also be a talk entitled Voicing an Icon, Mickey Talks with Brett Iwin. And he voices Mickey when you hear Mickey in recordings throughout the parks.
I had no idea.
That will occur on Saturday, May 18th.
Known as 2 days after your birthday.
That's right. All of this is presented in conjunction with the museum's 10th anniversary. For more information on the exhibition, visit waltdisney.org.
For a limited time, Animal Kingdom will offer a tasting sampler experience in the parks. For $30, you will receive a $35 digital gift card that you can use at select carts and kiosks throughout Animal Kingdom. You will also get a preferred seating for the second showing of Rivers of Light on the night you use your gift card.
Dinner and a show.
I love it. Fancy.
I guess more than dinner. It's like several carts of food and a show.
First dinner, second dinner, third dinner, and a show.
That's my kind of day.
I like it. You'll have a chance to try some of the park's standard treats like the glazed nuts, popcorn, a Dole Whip, craft beers, or the chili cheese dog, in addition to some new offerings available only during this event, including shrimp or chicken curry bowls at Kusafari Bakery, pastrami sliders at Smiling Crocodile, buffalo chicken chips at Trilobites, and pulled pork or shrimp mac and cheese plates at 8 Spoon Cafe.
I'm really proud of you for not commenting on the glazed nuts.
I glazed right over those glazed nuts. Just swooped past them. The tasting sampler is available from December 22nd, 2018 through January 2nd, 2019, and you can purchase your gift card now online at disneyworld.com/tasting sampler or by calling 407-WDW-DINE.
Well played, Disney.
Well played. I'm actually pretty excited about this. I'd say if I was a betting man, I'd say Disney is testing the waters with how they can get people to experience new foods and add some must-haves to their trips.
That makes sense. To me, this sounds more like the holiday season at Walt Disney World is very, very busy. And so Disney's trying to keep people out of the very, very busy restaurants and have them explore some of the food carts. And then because of that, they're rewarding them with this preferred seating for Rivers of Light.
That's fair. That's fair. This could also be just a new way to offer up a festival experience in the Epcot area, if you know what I mean. If I had a discounted food option, I would take advantage of that.
So you think this is a trial in Animal Kingdom for an Epcot?
That's what I think.
Festival?
It seems like an out-of-the-way place to do it, sort of secretly, just a limited time, very short window to see what guests' reaction is.
You know what? I would like a more adventurous food festival in Animal Kingdom. Like, I would like a food festival with, like, Indian food and African food and food vendors and carts. I want that.
Animal Kingdom has a lot of really good food offerings,
yes,
but not a lot of those quick service offerings.
Right,
it's mostly sit-down restaurants that have the good foods. So maybe this is their way of exploring, like, what's going to sell well in Animal Kingdom for quick service options. We have a lot of theories.
I'm into all of them, quite frankly, but mostly I just want as much Indian and African cuisine in my mouth as possible. 2019 brings the return of two very exciting, very popular events at Disneyland Resort.
I'm excited.
Both of these are at Disney's California Adventure, the first being the Lunar New Year celebration. 2019 is the Year of the Pig. Patrick, did you know that?
The Year of the Pig is every year for me, Adam.
That's not true.
Aw.
From January 25th to February 17th in Disney California Adventure, you can celebrate Lunar New Year, which includes a celebration of Asian cultures and traditions with some of your favorite Disney characters. Some of the offerings will include performances, amazing decorations, cuisine, and of course, merchandise.
I love some merch.
A highlight of the event will be Mulan's Lunar New Year Procession, which is a parade hosted by Mulan and her dragon, Mushu.
Aw.
And because this is the Year of the Pig, this year's parade will feature none other than...
Me.
No, Patrick.
Oh.
The Three Little Pigs.
Aw, fun.
Yeah. Next up, the 2019 Food and Wine Festival.
Num-nums.
From March 1st to April 23rd, guests at Disney California Adventure can experience the ever-popular Food and Wine Festival. The event will feature California-inspired cuisine and beverages, live entertainment, cooking seminars and demonstrations, and cooking experiences for kids.
Fun.
There will be over a dozen festival marketplaces offering small plates, wines, and craft beers.
My medicine.
Guests can purchase a Sip and Savor Pass as an easy way to experience multiple dishes throughout the park. Disney is also offering specialty priced tickets to help you get to the parks to enjoy these offerings. For visits January 7th through May 23rd, you can buy a 3-day, 1 park per day ticket at $70 per day. So $210.
I like that price.
Absolutely. They will also offer 4- and 5-day options, as well as park hopper upgrades. You can purchase these tickets now through May 18th online at the Disneyland website.
Adam, I'm going to try to get through this next story without crying. Born on October 1st, the newest Maasai giraffe has finally joined the herd in Animal Kingdom, and she has a name. May I have a drum roll, please?
Why do we always have to do a drum roll?
Because we're very good at them. Nope, we're not good at them. We're not good at them. Her name is
Adam.
Close.
Oh, really?
It's Amira.
Oh.
Which is Swahili for princess.
Do you know that Adam also means princess?
It means that in my head. It really does. Amira was intentionally bred by parents Kenya and George as part of the species survival plan run by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. The SSP ensures responsible breeding of threatened and endangered species. Maasai giraffe are currently listed as a vulnerable species, but are potentially moving toward being listed as endangered. There are around 32,000 Maasai giraffes in the wild, and their population is declining due to poaching and habitat loss. Disney, of course, is dedicated to leading the charge in conservation efforts through the Disney Conservation Fund. Earlier this year, Disney animal care experts relocated a herd of giraffes in Uganda across the Nile River to a safer habitat away from oil drilling.
Of course they navigated a herd across the Nile.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Amazing. When I read that, I just started sobbing. I couldn't be stopped. I was a mess.
What doesn't Disney do?
I know. I'm into it. I want to donate. I want to do everything I can. I want to be one of these people who works for the Disney Conservation Fund. Oy. To learn more about Disney's conservation efforts, visit thewaltdisneycompany.com/environment. And of course, welcome to the world, Amira.
Welcome to the world, Amira, and congratulations, Kenya and George.
Congratulations. We got to give them a gift.
Do you think George is just kind of like, yeah, my name's George. Yeah, you have a beautiful name of Kenya, and you have a beautiful name of Amira, and I'm George the giraffe.
She's like Peggy in the Schuyler Sisters song, and Peggy. And George.
Is that a reference to the Saturday Night Live skit?
Nope, it's a reference to Hamilton.
Sorry, Lin-Manuel.
A little-known musical you may know. This is Adam's first day. He and Amira were born on the same day.
A portion of the 2019 Garden Rocks concert series lineup has been announced.
Ooh, you're good at that.
Thank you. The Garden Rocks concert series is a large part of the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival at Walt Disney World, which runs March 6th through June 3rd, 2019. Now, this year, Patrick,
Yes?
the series is expanding to 7 days a week.
What?
Concerts on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday.
That's all the days.
That's right. I feel like we did this joke on a previous episode.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It's brand new.
That equates to 270 concerts spanning multiple genres over the course of the 90-day event.
Whoa.
Performers for the 2019 Garden Rocks concert series include Glass Tiger, who sang Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone.
Rare.
Simple Plan, who sang Welcome to My Life.
So simple.
Berlin, featuring Terry Nunn, who sang Take My Breath Away.
I love that song.
The Smithereens, new to Garden Rocks this year, who sang Top of the Pops.
Yeah, who didn't know them?
Christopher Cross, new to Garden Rocks this year, who sang Sailing
Takes Me Away.
Oh, I liked the kind of opera overtones to that.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be sung.
The Spinners, who sang Working My Way Back to You, Babe.
Oh, of course they did.
My favorite, Sister Sledge, also new to Garden Rocks this year, who sang We Are Family.
I got all my atoms in me. Is that how it goes?
I feel like we should crash that concert and just run to the front of the stage and just start
Be like, Sister Sledge, we got this.
We got it.
We'll
take care of it, Sister Sledge.
Don't you worry.
Sister Hazel, also new to the Garden Rocks concert series, who sang All For You.
So many sisters.
You're right. Stephen Curtis Chapman, also new, who sang Cinderella.
Okay. Who, what? Who dat?
Toby Mac, also new to Garden Rocks this year, who sang The Elements.
New to my mind. Who dat as well?
Lone Star, who sang Amazed.
Lone Star.
Oh, this is another great one. The Orchestra, starring former members of ELO, who sang Evil Woman.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Do you have no idea who ELO is?
No.
Oh, Patrick.
What?
Electric Light Orchestra?
Oh, nope.
I'm going to introduce you to some ELO immediately after we stop recording this podcast.
Can we introduce me to a martini first?
Yes.
Great.
And then ELO.
Great.
Herman's Hermits?
Yeah.
Starring Peter Noon, who sang
yes.
I'm Henry VIII, I am.
And Henry VIII, I am.
Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles, who sang
Welcome to the Hotel California.
That was Patrick, not me. Yep.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Colin Hay of Men at Work, also new to the festival this year, who sang Who Can It Be Now?
I call him Colin Hay.
Colin Hay. The Garden Rocks concert performances take place at 5:30 p.m., 6:45 p.m., and 8 o'clock p.m. each night of the festival and are included in regular park admission.
And based on that lineup, are recommended for ages 50 and up.
It's true. I mean, okay, but ELO, Sister Sledge?
Mm-hmm.
Guests can enjoy guaranteed concert seating by reserving a Garden Rocks dining package and enjoying breakfast, lunch, or dinner at select Epcot restaurants. Reservations for concert dining packages open December 13th. For more information or to make a reservation, call 407-WDW-DINE. That's 407-939-3463. Or visit freshepcot.com.
So fresh.
Fresh.
Adam, do you think when we're 50, it'll be like starring Kelly Clarkson, Pink, Gwen Stefani?
I 100% hope so, and I will absolutely be there.
Okay, so our parents are freaking out when they hear this, and we're going, oh.
I mean, we'll be lucky if that's the lineup when we're 50.
That's
I don't
fair.
think our parents are going to be freaking out to this.
It'll be more
lineup.
like Hanson.
It already is Hanson.
Oh, fair enough. Hootie and the Blowfish.
It already is Hootie.
Okay, so we're there.
We're there now.
We're old enough.
Oh.
Oh, dear. Hey, Adam. Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
You know what? It's the holiday season.
It's the holiday season.
I told you never to do that again.
So whoop-dee-doo.
Here we go.
And dickory-dock.
Wait for
and
it.
don't forget to hang up your sock.
It's happening. Your sock. Just one sock. No, what I want to talk about is what gifts you should give me for Christmas.
Oh, I thought this was more of like a gift-giving list for anyone, but it's just for you specifically now?
Well, that was your assignment, and now it's a new assignment to give them to me.
Okay, check. Noted.
Also, as you may have heard the laughter in the background, we have a special guest in the studio today.
Our friend Paul is here. Hi, Paul.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
You're our first D guest with a D.
You're right. You're our first male guest.
You're absolutely right. I feel so honored.
It's like a sausage
Thanks
party
for
in
having me.
here.
Uh-oh.
Can I say that?
You just did.
I mean, it is. There's pizza. So as Patrick mentioned, we are doing this gift-giving guide. It's called a guide.
Sure.
Why not? A Disney gift-giving guide.
I like it. A guide,
like
if you will.
Everything you're saying.
Yes, and Paul, we've been wanting to have you on for the longest time because, Paul,
Yes.
you purchased the most, I'm lifting it right now, the most beautiful yet heavy book called Walt Disney's Disneyland.
That's right.
It's 1,000 pounds.
It's got some heft to it. It really does. Walt Disney's Disneyland by Chris Nichols.
It is a beautiful, I mean, is it even a coffee table book, Paul? It goes beyond coffee table
You could
book,
use
right?
it as a coffee table.
Yeah.
It's
True.
so damn big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought this book. Actually, can I hand it back to you?
You can. Oh, my gosh.
It worked out my arms today, so I'm a little tired. So
I like that he just like casually mentioned that.
Yeah. I did a quick workout before doing the podcast.
did some deadlifts. And
Yeah, we
weird
had
that
some quick drinks before the podcast instead.
It's weird that you're both wearing tank tops while we're recording this. I can see that you both worked out. Okay.
Little side boob going on.
Okay, but back to the book.
So the book, yes.
the book. Okay,
that's right.
so you purchased the book.
I did.
Thank you. And this is before Paul, by the way, and I, not Patrick, went to Disneyland together.
Rude.
And Paul's husband, Bart, joined us, and our friend Rick joined us. But before we went on the trip, you actually bought this book.
That's right. So I had very little prior experience with Disneyland. I had been once way back in the early 90s for maybe half a day. So I had very little recollection of it. So for all intents and purposes, it was my first time going to Disneyland. And I don't think anyone else in our group had gone, or maybe
I think your husband had.
many, many years ago. when I was a child, right? So it was very unfamiliar to us. So Adam, I'm a planner.
Yes, I'm right there with you. In fact, all three of us are planners.
Yeah, I mean, I get very obsessed with the minutia of planning for the trip. I actually find that very fun. So, in preparation for anytime I travel somewhere or I'm doing something for the first time, I immerse myself in it. And so I ordered this book, and the timing of it was perfect. It was published just mere weeks before we left. So I ordered it, and it arrived shortly before we left. And I kind of did one of these when I opened the package. I went, I mean, sort of like how you all reacted when I revealed the book to you a little while ago. It's gorgeous. I mean, you look at the book and everything about it just says high end, like quality.
I mean, when Patrick first saw it, I wanted to make a joke because it was just like gasps and like kind of light groans, like flipping through the pages.
Yeah.
It was, you were having a reaction to this beautiful book.
It's true. Had I been in another room, you would have been like, what's he doing over there? I don't know.
And we wouldn't have seen you for hours.
No.
We'd be pouring over the pages.
Correct.
That's right. I mean, it's quite stunning. Full disclosure, I have not read the entire thing.
How could you? It's giant.
From cover to cover. And here's why. So when I got the book, I was expecting coffee table book largely comprised of photos, right? And in that sense, it did not disappoint. This thing is beautifully illustrated. What I was not prepared for was how much text is in this book.
Yeah.
So it's like they took a kind of a history book about Disneyland and a beautiful picture book and kind of melded them together into this beautiful hybrid. So it's filled with photos and concept art and maps, and I mean, it's just beautifully laid out, and it's wonderful.
We should mention it's published by Taschen.
Taschen, yes. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole on their website the other day. I was looking to see what other books they have. So Taschen tends to do books that are related to art and film and photography. And they're all similarly beautifully produced. So if you're into that kind of thing, I recommend checking it out.
So how did you land on this book? So I know you wanted to do some research.
Yeah.
How did you pick this one as the book you wanted to get?
I was in it for the pictures, I will admit. Yeah.
Fair.
So because I've looked at travel guides on the topic, the unofficial guide, which I highly recommend, but it's largely informational, a lot of text, no photos.
Right.
Having not been there in a long time, I was really trying to get myself jazzed up for the trip. So I wanted that visual stimulus. And so I went for the book, and that was it. Just really wanting to get myself excited for the upcoming trip.
So, Paul, before we get too far into this, we need to know your Diz-tory, right? We need to know what gives you the right to come onto this podcast.
How very dare you.
And tell us about your Disney book, like you know things.
Like I know some stuff. That's right. So
Do you know some stuff?
My Diz-tory. I do. I have quite a long Diz-tory. That word. So it started when I was about 6. My parents took my sister and I on a family vacation to Walt Disney World. So that was really where it started for me. And we stayed at the Polynesian Village. Oh. I know.
That was back in its glory days.
It really was.
Brag much?
It really was fabulous. And that kind of kicked off a kind of an obsession with tiki culture,
Yeah.
which continues to this day.
Yeah.
And so this was the 70s. And I was texting my dad not too long ago. I was trying to figure out the timeline about when we went the first time. And it was spring of 1975. Were you even born then?
That's fine.
Spring of 75. And I did the math and figured out that Space Mountain had just opened like 1 or 2 months before we got there.
Gosh.
What?
Can you imagine how smooth that track was probably back then?
Spanking new. That ride was gleaming white.
Yes.
And one of my most vivid memories of that trip was we went on Space Mountain. Oh. And at the time, it was like the last word in thrill rides, right? Or at least from our perspective, it was like nothing else like it. And we got off the ride and our knees were shaking so bad. And the Disney Imagineers had very thoughtfully decided to place some upholstered benches right next to the area where you disembark from the vehicle. So we had to sit on these upholstered benches for a while to kind of compose ourselves before we could move on. I mean, we were rattled, but kind of laughing at the same time. It was
for sure
fantastic. And I was actually really amused to go back to the park many, many years later when I was an adult, and those benches are still there. So that's one of my memories of that. And then another thing that I remember from that trip was my parents bought me a book right before we left, and it was kind of like a behind the scenes look at the making of Walt Disney World, which really at the time was just the Magic Kingdom. And I remember flying home and being on the plane and looking at this book, and I was staring at this picture of the submarine from the 20,000 Leagues ride.
Oh, yeah.
On the back of a flatbed truck on the freeway presumably on its way to the park.
I've seen that picture, I think.
Yes, I was like obsessed and just stared at this photo, and it kind of opened up for me anyway in my mind this idea that this is all made, like somebody thought of this,
right,
and built this. And so from that very early age, I was really fascinated by Imagineering, basically. And I didn't really have much of an emotional connection to the characters. I know that's probably a controversial statement, but I was not raised on the animated films. So I knew who Mickey Mouse was. I knew who the Fab Five were. I wasn't really connected to Disney that way. It was more that fascination with just the sheer craft, I guess, that went into creating this completely immersive world. I was kind of an odd child. So, 6 years old, but these were the kinds of things that interested me.
You know what? It carries into your adulthood. You're still odd. Still odd.
Still true.
No, I think that holds true for all three of us, though. Like, we love the magic of Disney, but we also go, but how?
Right.
How did you
There's
do
that questioning always behind it.
That's right. It was all about the thought and the technology that went into it, and the design of it was all what really fascinated me. I wanted to know, how did you do this? Of course, I loved the experience of it. I loved the attractions, but I also was really fascinated and impressed by just the attention to detail that you don't really see many other places.
So that is a great segue then into the book, Paul, because we all have this fascination with kind of the magic behind Disney, how things work technically. Mm-hmm. And Walt Disney's Disneyland by Chris Nichols. How is this organized? Is it organized by like chapters or sections, or how is this book kind of laid out for us?
Is it chronological?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's broken up into 3 kind of big sections, and then within those sections, it's kind of broken up into smaller chapters, if you will. So the first big section is called Walt's Dream. And Disneyland, when it opened, really was kind of the embodiment of Walt's upbringing and his career up to that point. So it really gives you kind of an overview of his life up to that point, because those are the things that really informed what Disneyland ultimately ended up being, at least when it opened. So it covers some of that history. It covers some of the origins, like what prompted this idea of Disneyland in the first place. What were some of the inspirations for the look and the feel of the park?
Does it go into that kind of, we've all heard that kind of, who knows if it's a legend or not, but the fact that he was sitting on the park bench and watching his kids play.
Exactly.
It was kind of a filthy carnival environment or something
That's
like
right.
that.
Yeah. And he really was trying to envision a place where a child and an adult could go and both enjoy it equally. That would feel clean and would feel safe. Exactly. That was one of the key sort of inspirations for the park. And then it goes into some of the challenges that he faced with creating the park. It's interesting to know that, and it's just even hard to imagine at this point, but Walt Disney was cash poor.
Several times in his life, right?
Yeah. Was actually considered to be kind of an investment risk, and he just did not have the capital to even start building this park. And so he turned to television, and he struck a deal with ABC to produce this weekly television show called, strangely enough, Disneyland. Which,
shocking.
Right. Which gave him a platform to actually promote awareness and to kind of gin up interest in this park. He would do little teasers, little promos focused on a particular area of the park or an attraction. And of course, producing the show and having that deal with ABC gave him the cash in order to build the park. So it covers that as well. And then I've read biographies of Walt Disney before. There's a few of them out there. There's one called An American Original by Bill Thomas that I recommend.
If I could read, I would have.
Oh, Patrick.
So I had read that book prior, and there's an extensive section on Disneyland. So I will say that I think most Disney files worth their salt probably know a lot of this history already.
Sure.
It's pretty well worn ground, but I thought it was engagingly written, easy to get through. So I think if you're not as well versed in Disney lore, it would be of particular interest. So that's the first section. The next section is called The Park Comes to Life.
Oh.
And this covers the years 1955 through 1963. And here, this section is broken into 5 chapters. And as you can probably see where this is going.
I can see where it's going, Patrick.
I'm lost. I'm very lost.
Each chapter is devoted to one of the lands.
Sure.
That Disneyland is made up of. And this section I absolutely love. There's gorgeous concept art and photographs. As we were paging through the book a little earlier, we were all kind of oohing and eyeing over some of the Mary Blair artwork that's in there for Small Worlds, which I absolutely love. There's some beautiful concept art for Tomorrowland, which is that sort of mid-century idea of what the future would look like.
Yeah.
I know, which looks so quaint by today's standards, but I love it.
Is a lot of the concept art almost shocking to you because it was never fully realized, or are there always ties to existing attractions, or are there things that are just completely wacky and were never produced?
There were a few things that seemed kind of out there, some ideas that just never came to fruition for whatever reason. But it's interesting to see how some of those ideas sort of came to life on the page, and then what they ultimately ended up looking like when the ride was created. So some of them were very, very similar. There were some differences between the two. But what I noticed as I was looking through some of the concept art, I realized I'd seen a lot of it before. And particularly the artwork of Mark Davis, who did some of the concept art for rides like Haunted Mansion.
Pirates. Yeah.
Some of that artwork is as iconic as the rides themselves.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them so many times. So that was not new, but it was really nice to have them all in one volume.
I think we literally can't get through one episode without mentioning Mark Davis.
Mark Davis comes up in every episode at some point.
Yeah. I mean, so influential and such a huge driving force. So that's the second section of the book. And then the third is called The Vision Continues. So that focuses on the 1964 World's Fair up through the present day. So as a lot of us know, the World's Fair was where attractions like, what is it called?
The Carousel of Progress.
Carousel of Progress. It's a Small World. Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Those all debuted at the World's Fair before they ultimately ended up at Disneyland. There's some really interesting anecdotes in the book about Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln where they talk about how the guests were just so in awe of this animatronic because it really was groundbreaking. It was the first of its kind. And some of the stories talk about how people were moved to tears and how some people even couldn't believe that it was an animatronic. They were convinced that it was an actual person.
Wow.
Yeah. It was so advanced for its time. It seems kind of quaint by today's standards, but at the time it was incredibly groundbreaking.
But they're still like standing on those shoulders of Walt Disney and continuing to advance those animatronics. Like when I go on the river ride in Avatar,
Navi River Journey.
Oh my gosh, the shaman at the end. I'm like, that's a person. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Incredibly fluid now, and so much more articulation to all of the animatronics than the first generation.
It's so nuanced.
Right. So you can kind of imagine what people back then were looking at when they saw Abe Lincoln. I'm sure it's the same advancement they were seeing then as we are seeing now.
It's
with
lore.
Those kind.
Yeah, it's lore now that like people gasped when he stood up from the chair. Like people lost their minds. You know,
it's still impressive. Though.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
When we went to see it a couple of months ago, at that point where he stood up, and we all there was sort of a murmur amongst our group. So it's still impressive, even by today's standards.
Yeah.
And then also in this section, it does cover the Florida Project, which we all know is Walt Disney World.
That's right.
It doesn't go terribly in depth on this.
Sure.
It's touched on as something that was happening sort of simultaneously as there were all these other upgrades and expansions going on at Disneyland. And just to show how up to the moment this book is, there is concept art for Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah. So it does touch on that a little bit. It touches on California Adventure as well. But the focus is squarely on Disneyland. So the other parks are touched on lightly, but there's not a lot of focus on those. It's really on Disneyland.
So it's mostly on what Walt actually had eyes on.
That's right.
Does it talk about at all of his passing and sort of the tragedy that he never got to see his big vision come to fruition?
It's a great question. I mean, you can't talk about Disneyland and not mention his passing.
Sure.
It is talked about in the book, but I was sort of surprised at how fleetingly it was discussed.
Oh, okay.
And maybe that was a choice by the author to kind of keep the tone light. It could get very maudlin and dark, I suppose, really
absolutely
quickly.
Yeah.
It was covered in, I would say, 2 or 3 very succinct paragraphs. Essentially, Walt was admitted to the hospital for pain in his leg due to an old polo injury.
Right.
He was diagnosed with lung cancer and never left the hospital again. I mean, it's almost that succinct and somewhat dispassionately, actually.
Fair.
I was surprised, I guess, considering what an impact his passing had on the entire company. So that was touched on a little bit. Some of his friends and his colleagues are quoted in the book talking about the impact that he had on their lives and how his passing affected them. But then it moves on pretty quickly.
So it's more of maybe a celebration of his work on Disneyland and what he did while he was here with us.
Absolutely. There's a brief mention in there of how Roy Disney, Walt's brother, who became the president and the CEO of Disney after Walt had passed. And there was this brief period where there were questions about how do we even continue, because Walt was so much the driving force behind everything. And Roy basically said, we have to. And so there was a brief pause while everyone kind of mourned and regrouped. And then within a few short months, it was
back to work.
Back to work. That's right.
Are there any particularly memorable anecdotes that the book brings up that either you'd never heard before or that just kind of reminded you of a great kind of story about the building of Disneyland or any of the Disney parks?
There were a lot of great anecdotes, but the ones that stood out for me were related to the opening day. There was this huge push to get the park ready. And by all accounts, it was kind of a disaster.
A mess,
yeah,
right?
So it opened on July 17th, 1955. And there was this live televised event to mark the opening date.
Art Linkletter, right?
That's
Wasn't he
right.
the host,
That's
and
right.
Ronald Reagan was
Yes.
like a co-host.
It was called Dateline Disneyland. And so this
Oh.
thing, it involved dozens of cameras and technicians, and at the time it was this feat of coordination and,
they
and
may
logistics.
they might as well have been like launching a ship to the moon, right? It was just just crazy.
It was really kind of the first large scale televised event of its kind.
Right.
90 million people tuned in to watch this thing.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those things
No
people actually
pressure.
remember watching it and remember
Sure.
where they were and when it came on the air.
And there's footage of it out there. I've
yeah.
seen some of it.
Yeah.
So it was July in Southern California, and it was ungodly hot.
right.
And so there's all kinds of horrific anecdotal information in the book about this day, and it gained the nickname Black Sunday.
Oh no.
I think Marty Sklar called it that.
Yeah.
Kind of coined that nickname for it because it was just so nightmarish.
Right.
So I mentioned that there was this huge push to get the park ready. So they had just poured the asphalt maybe a few days prior. So it hadn't really set yet. So it was still really hot, or still really soft. And the heat caused it to be even more soft. So women are walking around in their stiletto heels that were slowly sinking into this soft asphalt. Also, the water fountains didn't work. So people are walking around in this intense heat, getting dehydrated and crabby.
I had heard that they kind of had to make a choice. I don't know if this is true or not, but like it was either bathrooms or water fountains, and they went with bathrooms. Like they were like, let's just focus on necessities.
Sure.
And while water fountains seems important, they opted for bathrooms, which good choice.
You can drink from a sink.
That's a good point, Patrick.
Water's available if a bathroom's open.
Gosh, it sounds just like a nightmare.
Yeah.
And on top of that, not all the attractions were ready.
Right.
So there were a lot of signs posted throughout the park saying, opening soon. So it was incredibly packed. A lot of attractions weren't ready for prime time. So you can imagine the lines at the attractions that were open were just interminable.
I'd also heard that there was like specific times people were given to show up.
Yeah.
And that also the tickets had been reproduced illegally or something like that. And so there were just too many people showing up
right.
at inopportune times.
Right. So what I read in the book was that it allowed you, it seems so silly now in retrospect, that it allowed you to write how many people were in your party. And people were writing just these astronomical numbers. Like, a party of 100, please.
Oh, no.
So it was stuffed to the gills with people.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And so that combined with attractions being down and the drinking fountains not working, and people were kind of cranky and were not, how shall one say, they were not observing the rules of waiting your turn. So they were jumping over gates and rushing at the ride vehicles rather than waiting in an orderly fashion. So
it was pandemonium.
It sounded pretty chaotic.
It sounds like any day at Rope Drop, really, at any Disney park. People just
true.
running
to Avatar.
It seemed really under control. I don't know. I always think of Disney as being everything's well considered, and generally speaking, everything seems so smooth and seamless. So it was interesting to read about that very chaotic opening day.
What I love about that, though, is that it's sort of indicative of Walt Disney. He wasn't afraid to just throw something at the wall to see if it works, and they were just like, you know what, we're going to open. We're going to see it. Yeah, we're going to see if it works.
Yeah.
And it did in the long run, obviously.
It did. The press was there that day, and it was largely considered to be a huge disappointment. A $17 million disappointment. $17 million seems like nothing now.
Right.
But at the time, this was an astronomical amount. But the press was not kind. And so the Disney PR team went into overdrive for the rest of that summer, and they had the press come back after they had ironed out some of the kinks and more of the attractions were open, and they took them on guided tours and they wined and dined them. So they garnered some pretty positive press as a result of that, and it worked. The crowds started to grow from there.
So how did this book change your perception of Disneyland or Disney history? Did you kind of get a new respect for it, or did you learn anything interesting that you hadn't known before?
I think the main thing that I took away from this book was how Disneyland is just so woven into the fabric of America. It's hard to imagine that there was ever a time it didn't exist. but it just reminded me of how groundbreaking it was and how influential it was and the cultural impact of it. I was also struck by how people dressed up when they went to the park. There's all these amazing photos from the 50s and 60s of people in their finest garb to walk through the park. It's really kind of amazing. You certainly don't see that anymore. And also it reminded me of how truly visionary he was. Patrick, you said he just threw stuff at the wall to see what would work. I mean, he went for it, and he had these amazing ideas, and he was relentless and just uncompromising when it came to achieving his vision. And the other thing that really struck me was how he was really curious to know what people thought of his work, and that included the park. And he would wander through the park, and there's some great anecdotes about this as well in the book, about how he would go to the park and he would wait in line like anybody else, and he really wanted to experience the park like a guest would. And he would solicit feedback, and he would say, what do you like? And also, more importantly, what don't you like? And he really opened himself up to that criticism because he wanted it to be the best park that it could possibly be, which is a lot about his character and his sense of integrity. And he just never seemed satisfied. Everything I've read about him, he seems like this really restless soul and just insatiably curious about the world. And so he was always striving to make Disneyland the best park that it could possibly be, and just always innovating up until his passing.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this. I love that you brought this book into us. I have a question for you, though. Since it's the holiday season, it's a gift-giving season, who would you recommend this book for? Who should I purchase this book for?
Other than me.
Sure.
Because I've seen it and I want it.
Yeah, I'm going to have not borrow your copy of it.
Gosh, well, that it would appeal to a Disney file goes without saying. Mm-hmm. But you might even question that. You might wonder, because there's so many Disney books out there, and you might think, what could this book offer a Disney fan that maybe they haven't already seen? There were tons of images and photos throughout this book that I had not seen before. And as I was saying earlier, I think that combination of the history, that it's so dense with text, but also all these beautifully laid out photos combined in one gorgeous volume, I think, and this, I'm going to make a really bold statement here, I think.
We do that all the time here.
I would say, based on my experience, this is the definitive book on Disneyland.
Wow.
That's a bold statement. I will say, just having seen it now, you know how like a lot of coffee table books, you kind of thumb through once when you get them, and then you never really return to them. Like you look at all the pictures and you're kind of done with it. This one you would go back to again. I feel like I'm on QVC right now.
Yeah.
This one you're going to go back to again and again and again, because every time you're going to not only see a new photo or some kind of imagery you didn't notice before, but you're also going to fall into some of the text that you hadn't read before, right?
That's right. Yeah. There's a lot in there to pour over, and it took me several sittings to get through the thing end to end. So yes, I think it definitely would appeal to a Disney fan, even those who feel like, I've seen it all. I've got a ton of Disney books. Check it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And then I think anyone who just has interest in pop culture, photography, design would also find it interesting.
So Paul, where can people find Walt Disney's Disneyland by Chris Nichols?
You can find it on the Taschen website, and you can also find it on Amazon. It's normally $60. It's currently going for $54 on Amazon, at least as of yesterday. Ooh. So not a huge discount. But
maybe free shipping though with the holidays.
This is true. I would say maybe keep an eye on it over a period of time. When I got it, it was actually down to something like $35. When I got it on pre-order. So, you know how Amazon is, the prices kind of fluctuate. So check it out.
I've got to say, even at full price, this would be an incredible deal.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Just so much information, so much imagery.
Yeah, I would, if I looked at it and didn't know what the price was, I would expect it would be significantly more.
And that's Taschen, Taschen, for those who don't know how to spell that, because you wouldn't know that from hearing it.
That's right.
Well, Paul, we thank you so much for bringing your perspective on Walt Disney's Disneyland to us. And we have to continue this segment because we have to talk about our Disney holiday gift list.
That's right. We're going to talk about all the gifts you're getting for me.
So, Paul, please stick around for our gift guide. You can bash our choices if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick, why don't you kick us off with your first Disney gift guide selection?
I would love to. Thank you for that honor. I'm going to swing big with my first gift.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a big D.
Okay.
23 Ds, actually.
That's a lot of Ds to take.
I'm going to go with the D23 membership.
Oh, this would be a great gift. Almost a record for you?
Almost a record. Oh, dear. Cover your ears, kids. Paul's here. No, the D23 membership is for the Disney lover in all of us.
Yes. So explain to people what D23 is for those that may not know.
So D23 is basically the official membership for Disney. Think of it as sort of the Mickey Mouse Club for today.
It's like the ultimate fan club, right?
That's right,
like,
exactly.
They hold up magnificent events throughout the year. They just had the Destination D event in Orlando where they unveiled all of that crazy information that we reported on a couple of episodes ago.
Absolutely. And if you were a member of the gold membership for D23, you could have attended that D23 event. There are levels. There's a general membership that's free, and you get a newsletter and some special announcements and maybe some discounts. But if you spend, I believe it's $79 currently, there's a gold membership for D23, and you get things like attending the D23 events. There are movie screenings that happen throughout the country, mostly in California and Florida, but there's some in Chicago sometimes, some in New York. There's special access to the D23 Expo, the quarterly publication, exclusive membership gift that happens every year. This year, I believe it's a homage to Mickey Mouse, the 90th celebration for Mickey Mouse. There's a fan-dedicated website that you get access to, and there's, of course, discounts and offers throughout the year. It's the gift to get any lover of Disney, I think.
Why haven't you purchased this for me yet?
You don't know that I didn't. I didn't.
Is it under the tree?
No, I didn't do it.
Oh.
I got it for myself instead.
Rude.
Well, this is the list of gifts for me, isn't it?
That's right. I forgot about that part.
Yay!
Paul, what about you? Do you want to be a D23 member?
I would love to be a D23 member. In fact, we have talked about going to some of those events.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on it.
I think we should do this. This is maybe on our D list. Are we on the D list?
D list? I love it. We need to start a D list.
No, we're definitely like F list.
That's fair. What does F stand for, Adam?
Let's move on, shall we?
Please do. Adam, what would you like to talk about first for your holiday gifts?
Here's what I'm going to pitch for my Disney gift.
Pitch, please.
Pitch. I'm a guy, and you may know this about me. Both of you probably know this about me.
I know that you're a guy. I knew that.
I'm a guy who enjoys experiences more than like stuff, right? So
it's true.
I don't collect a lot of things.
Yeah.
Although as I get older, I'm like, I could start collecting that.
That's right. Your hashtag memories, not merch.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Not a material girl.
I am not a material girl. Thank you for saying that, Paul. So I'm going to suggest any kind of special Disney parks tour or experience you can give a loved one, right?
Aww.
So we all know that Disney World and Disneyland have tours you can go on. For instance, Disney World has the Backstage Magic tour. Disney's Animal Kingdom has the Wild Africa trek you can go on. They have the Keys to the Kingdom at Magic Kingdom. At Epcot, there's Behind the Seeds, Patrick, which we've talked about doing on our trip in January.
I'm actually going on the Up Close with Rhinos tour.
That's right, in April, right? So like there's all these little special things that you can kind of add on as a plus to plus your vacation.
That's right.
So if you have a loved one that's going to a Disney park and you can somehow finagle this for them or like work it in as a kind of a special surprise, or even if you can't do that, even if you could just somehow create like a gift card for them and say, this is for you to go experience this specific kind of fun add-on to your vacation.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great gift.
That's a great idea.
And in Disneyland, we can't forget about Disney After Hours. Either of those would be great. There's the Sweethearts Night in February and the 90s Night in March. I want to go to the 90s Night. So
totally tubular.
If either of you, want to give me that, please.
That's 80s.
Don't.
They also have the Walk in Walt's Disneyland Footsteps tour out there. In Disney World, you could do a Disney Springs cooking class.
Oh my gosh.
You could even do like a resort upgrade. Anyway, any kind of thing that kind of makes your vacation or your loved one's vacation a little bit more special.
I love that idea.
Can you say a little bit about price range for some of these?
I can.
Some of these gifts?
Hold on to your hats, folks.
Okay.
It runs the gamut. It really does. The Backstage Magic Tour is $275, but it is a 7-hour tour. Paul, have you done that?
Sort of. So I went to the Disney Institute a few years back.
That's right, yeah.
For work. And part of that experience, some of it was kind of a seminar setting, but then every day we got to go into the parks and sort of experience what we had just learned about that day. And part of it was actually going through the park as a guest, but also we got to go behind the scenes. So there was a little bit of that sort of behind the magic aspect to it. It wasn't technically one of those tours, but there were components that were similar.
Patrick, take a note. We need to have Paul back to talk about the Disney Institute.
Yeah, hold on a minute. What?
Amazing. If you ever get the chance to go, I highly recommend it. It was fantastic. And for somebody who's into Imagineering and really understanding the technology and the thought and the planning and the logistics and everything that goes into running a major theme park, check it out. Yeah,
Such a great gift you can give me.
You're selfish. There, I said it.
Just put it out there.
I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it.
By the way, Patrick's Amazon wish list can be found at... Okay, Patrick, give us your number 2 Disney gift recommendation.
Okay, so if you know me at all, you know that I love a subscription box.
You love yourself some subscription boxes.
I sure do. I sure
don't know
do.
what this is.
A subscription box?
I don't know what that is.
So basically, it's a curated box that comes to your house monthly that you pay for monthly, like a magazine, but they give you curated items specifically for that box.
Gotcha.
And so there are quite a few Disney-themed subscription boxes out there, and that would be a lovely gift to give your loved one. One specifically that I love, and I'm actually considering getting for myself, is the Mickey Monthly box.
Now, what does that involve?
So it is a subscription box with a monthly delivery of Disney-themed items. And these are not just like I handcrafted a clay Mickey Mouse for you. No, these are actually items from the Disney parks that they will send to your home. So there are a couple of different categories that you can buy. There's the original box for $19.99 a month with Disney licensed items and other branded items. There's the theme park box for $29.99 a month with Disney park specific items. So we're talking about anything you can get in the park, they might send to your home on a monthly basis. Amazing.
That does sound amazing.
And it's all, so you don't know what you're going to get in advance.
You have no idea. It's all mystery. They're a little bit curated, so you fill out a little bit of a, here's what I like. I'm an adult. I'm this age. I'm a male. I'm a female. And they'll sort of curate it for you.
Okay.
But you don't know what you're going to get from month to month. There's the pins box for $11.95, starting at $11.95, with authentic Disney pins that will come to your home.
Love me a pin.
It gets better. There's the pop vinyl box that has Disney pop vinyl figures in it. That starts at $9.99 a month. And then my favorite is the snack box, starting at $29.99 a month, which sends you Disney park snacks from the parks, you guys. I'm talking about Minnie's Bakery Shop. I'm talking about Goofy's Sour Balls, which I love.
You love those sour balls.
And they'll send those to you every month, mystery pack, starting at $29.99 a month.
So I know Adam is wondering, so I'm just going to ask, is there chocolate peanut butter fudge?
You never know. You never know. I think it's mostly things that are packaged that are like
non-perishable.
Yeah, non-perishable.
Yeah, can you imagine just like a melted puddle of chocolate peanut butter fudge at the bottom of the box?
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
One can dream, though.
Yeah, so you can go to mickeymonthly.com to get these subscription boxes.
Okay.
I want that so bad.
I hope my husband is listening.
Bart. Yes, Bart. Pay attention, Bart.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Adam? What's next on your list?
My next Disney gift recommendation is something that I love, and I know, Paul, you love these as well. They are the Gallery of Light boxes by Olszewski.
Sure, let's go with that.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the last name. It's Olszewski. Olszewski.
Yeah, that sounds great.
His first name is Bob.
It must be very expensive if you can't pronounce it.
They're actually not. That's the great thing. So a lot of you have probably seen these in the parks somewhere. They sell them in the Disney park stores at Off the Page at Disney California Adventure in Disneyland Resort, and at the Art of Disney at Epcot and Walt Disney World Resort. And they are framed miniature boxes that are kind of like dioramas or three-dimensional art pieces that are also lit up with LED lighting. They're just beautiful, right? And I'm really fascinated by things in miniature. Do either of you want to touch that? I just sent you like a softball joke.
I don't want to touch your miniature.
Okay. Okay. There you go.
The attention to detail in these things is amazing.
And they feature like classic films and attractions as well.
Right.
So like there's one really beautiful one that always pops into my mind that we saw on our last trip, Paul, of the evil queen from Snow White looking into the mirror.
Yes.
And there's also, I've seen ones with like the Haunted Mansion.
Right, the hitchhiking ghosts.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're, what would you say, maybe 4 inches, 5 inches tall?
About that. Yeah.
Just very small, very delicate, beautiful art pieces that you can put on a shelf. And then they have these light up features and 3-dimensional layering built into them.
Yeah, they're stunning.
Yeah, and they sell for about $75 and up. So it's a smaller piece, but the level of detail in it makes it very reasonably priced, in my opinion.
I agree. And they feel special. It's not like just any old piece of Disney merchandise that you could get anywhere. So for someone who wants to collect Disney merchandise, but maybe wants to go for something a little bit more high end, it's definitely something that you might gravitate towards.
And it's not something that is in your face Disney. Like this could sit on a shelf.
Exactly.
And when it's unlit, the gold kind of frame around it is just beautiful on its own. But then for someone who truly appreciates it, when you get up close to it, you'll see the level of detail in it, and it really is amazing. You can also purchase these on Shop Disney, and online retailers like Amazon and eBay do have them as well.
Now, I have a question. Are they general, or can you like have one custom made for you? Like, say, I want one of Cinderella's castle that you don't have.
I'm sure you could contact Bob Olszewski.
You're so good at saying that name.
I know. I'm so sorry, Bob. And he would make you one for a lot of money, probably a custom one.
Fair.
But these are all ones that are kind of pre-made that are sold in the parks or online.
They're predetermined. Cutouts.
Yeah. But there are a ton of options. Like when you go to these stores in the parks and even to some of the stores online, there are several different either attractions or movies you can choose from. There's an Alice in Wonderland one I saw, the Tea Party. That's really great, Patrick.
It's weird that I don't have that yet.
It is weird that you don't have that yet. If it was edible, you'd probably have it at this point, right?
That's fair.
So anyway, that is my second recommendation for something a little out of the ordinary, maybe something a little bit more pricey, but something truly special from Disney.
Great idea. Can you spell that last name again so people can find him online?
I will. I apologize for this. It's Olszewski.
Thank you.
Patrick, please give us your next Disney holiday gift recommendation.
So my next gift is maybe not one for myself, but for the Disney ears lover in you. I'm talking about very handmade custom Disney ears.
Yes.
Specifically Minnie Mouse ears.
Sure, yeah. From
a very specific vendor that I love and follow on their Instagram. I'm talking about mainstreetears.com. It's owned by a lovely woman named Brittany, and she makes these amazing handmade custom Minnie Mouse ears that she does. You can find Beauty and the Beast themed, you can find Halloween themed, anything you can think of, she makes them, and they're fantastic and beautiful. So if you love ears, go to her website and order her ears. She's amazing at what she does. They're not ears that you can find in the parks, so they're not maybe necessarily Disney licensed ears, but I think they're okay with it because she's been around for a while and she's pretty successful and she does an amazing job.
I've seen a lot of these specialty ear creators on Etsy, and I'm attracted to them. I have to say, I do not own a single pair of Minnie Mouse ears, but there are some, I've seen several that are just completely bejeweled, and I want them. I want them on my head.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm like the crab in Moana.
They're fantastic. So again, you can go to mainstreetears.com to find them. I know that she only sort of sets up her shop every once in a while because she's one person and she can only make so many. You can also follow her on social media at Main Street Ears. And they also have this delightful YouTube channel called Disney at Heart, which features her and her very handsome husband, Jared.
Okay, now we know. Now we know.
We've come to the
It's about Jared,
the real
isn't
conclusion.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
just
There it
support
is.
Jared. No, but
Does he model the ears and then nothing else on? Or
He
is
does
that
not
what-
do that. He does not do that.
Okay.
But he does have a very lovely Southern accent, and it's just dear to my heart. But you can follow them again at Disney at Heart on YouTube. They go on vacation and they film it all the time, and it's so fun to watch. And she models her ears on the YouTube channel. So again, just check out their YouTube channel, Disney at Heart with Britt and Jared, or go to their social media at Main Street Ears.
Jared.
Oh, Jared.
He went to Jared.
Oh, well done, Paul. What about you, Adam? What's next on your holiday list?
My next recommendation are circa 1955 candles.
Ooh,
Patrick,
I love them.
You've been a recipient.
On our 1-year anniversary, me and Dan received a, not one, not two, but a 3-candle package from Adam and his lovely boyfriend, Matthew, of these candles, and they're amazing. All right, take it away, Adam.
Well, first of all, Paul, are you aware of circa 1955?
I am not.
Okay, so circa 1955 candles, they're kind of like a spin-off or a sub-brand of Lux Illume candles, which is an online store where you can purchase candles. Oddly enough, a candle store.
Yeah,
where you can purchase candles.
Weird.
I know.
I think they're a branch of that.
Thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome.
And they are scents inspired by Disney. So they're scents inspired by Disney attractions or resorts or locations within the park. For instance, there's a Haunted Mansion candle. There's a Main Street Bakery candle.
Oh, so good.
There's a beach club candle. So there's all these different locations that kind of inspired these really fantastic scents from these candles, and they nail the scents.
It's not generic. It's not like, oh, it smells sweet. No, these are like you're in the park.
So what is let's say, for example, Haunted Mansion, because that's my fave. So what does that smell like?
Must.
I was going to say
Yeah,
dust.
For real.
is.
It's got that smoky kind of a smell.
Yeah, that kind of like stage smoke, musty, dusty kind of smell. But also kind of, there's that hint of like perfume behind it, like that kind of like weird kind of ghostly.
Like an old woman rose perfume.
Yes,
smell.
exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're fantastic. They also do seasonal scents. So, for instance, right now they have kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas inspired scents. None of these scents specifically reference Nightmare Before Christmas or like a specific Disney film, but they do reference like Main Street or Haunted Mansion or things that Disney kind of can't really get them for. They sell single candles, wax melts, and samplers, which is what I sent to Patrick, as well as subscription boxes, much like your Mickey subscription boxes, Patrick.
Yeah.
You can have candles delivered to your house monthly, all with a different kind of Disney World theme behind them. They sell for $5.50 and up. And I have to give a shout out to Nicole, who I worked with, Patrick, to arrange your gift.
Oh.
Because she was so interested in, Patrick, your personality, Dan's personality. She really wanted to make the gift special. She wanted to know what the wrapping should look like. Like, she just wanted to know a lot of details to make it such a special thing for you to receive in the mail.
And it was incredibly special. Like, the candles were perfect to exactly what I wanted. The wrapping, I don't know if did you get to see any of the packages before?
I didn't.
There was a Pirates of the Caribbean themed candle.
Yeah.
And inside of it were these gold coins as well. So it was like a treasure chest, basically. It was amazing. It was so special and endearing. I can't recommend it enough.
Well, that was all Nicole. She basically did send me kind of like a questionnaire of things that interested you, interested Dan, and so that she really made it such a special experience for you to receive that. To check out circa 1955 candles and to learn more, visit Luxillume, that's LUXILLUME.com /collections/circa-1955. So anyway, these are just some of our suggestions for holiday Disney-themed gifts that may be a little bit out of the ordinary or something you wouldn't see all the time or receive all the time.
I love to receive gifts. I love to receive gifts.
Quite a pregnant pause you had in between those two words.
We should mention that we are in no way sponsored by any of the suggestions that we gave. We just love them very dearly. We've maybe bought them for ourselves or for our friends, and you should as well.
That's right. So everyone out there, of course, we wish you a happy holiday, and we wish you happy, stress-free, Disney-themed gift giving. Patrick.
Yas Queen.
Paul.
Yes.
Patrick and Paul.
Aww.
Pee-pee.
Two pee-pees. Two peas in a pod. Two peas on a pod.
Oh my gosh.
Clever.
Yeah.
Clever.
Thank you.
We are going to introduce a new segment right here, right now.
Uh-oh.
And we're calling it Disney Thunderdome.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's right.
I'm intrigued.
So it's Thunderdome rules. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, except it's Disney things, right? So it's 2 Disney attractions, 2 Disney characters, 2 Disney experiences, Enter the Thunderdome.
Wow. Does Tina sing the theme song?
I hope so.
I do too.
Welcome to the Disney Thunderdome.
Oh,
Never.
Paul.
I never knew that
what?
about you.
Yeah, but he definitely does have the gams of Tina Turner. You ever seen his legs?
It's true.
Those
It's true.
pins.
And they're just as tanned.
I have the hips of Tina
Oh,
Turner.
do you?
Yeah.
Anyway, anywho, back to Thunderdome.
Yes.
So, 2 Disney attractions, 2 Disney characters, or 2 Disney experiences enter, and only one can leave. So you're making a choice here, okay? You have to make a choice. Only one can survive.
Ooh.
That's right.
Okay.
So we have not discussed these prior to this moment. We have discussed the categories we're going to be pitching each other, but not the choices.
That's right.
Patrick,
Yes.
are you ready for Disney Thunderdome?
We're going to find out.
Paul, are you ready for Disney Thunderdome?
I'm ready.
The first category is Walt Disney Table Service Restaurants. Patrick, go.
Such an aggressive category to start us out. My 2 table service restaurants that are battling it out for you guys are Be Our Guest versus the Brown Derby.
Oh.
The Brown Derby.
No question.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Right
Quick.
out of the gate, the Brown Derby.
Quick, why? Why?
Listen, I like Be Our Guest.
Yeah.
But the Brown Derby has better food.
Oh.
I like Be Our Guest's ambiance, but I appreciate more the kind of chill, kind of cool old Hollywood vibe of Brown Derby and grapefruit cake. Grapefruit cake.
That's true. That's true.
Delicious. Paul, you said Brown Derby too?
Yeah, I mean, everything you just said. I will say, however,
Yes.
Be Our Guest has in its favor a twerking beast.
That's true. When we went several years ago, we did ask the Beast to twerk, and he obliged.
That he did, much to the chagrin of his handler.
His handler was like, "Oh no, Beast, don't do that."
But twerking aside, I give it hands down to the Brown Derby.
But also never put twerking aside.
That's true. All right, Adam. Same category. Table service restaurants. Go.
Sci-fi dine-in at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Via Napoli at the Italy Pavilion and World Showcase at Epcot.
Oh my gosh, I'm so torn. Pressed against a window, I would go Via Napoli.
Oh, interesting, Paul.
I would go with Via Napoli as well, but only because I've not been to the other one.
You've never been to sci-fi?
Not that I can recall.
Get off of this podcast.
Okay, why Via Napoli, Patrick?
The pizza is so freaking good.
But the waiters,
The waiters.
the
And the
attractive
waiters
waiters
are
have
so
Holy cow.
freaking good.
so attractive and delicious. And I have most of their phone numbers.
Oh, do you?
I wish.
That's a long distance call.
It's true. I like it long.
Oh, hello. We went there.
The distance I'm talking about.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. Paul, the pizza, right? I mean, the pizza.
No question. And nothing else. Just the pizza.
Yeah.
Also, they have delicious wine and beer flights, and you
Oh.
know I like a flight.
Yeah, you do.
I'm flying right now. All right, we're moving on to category 2. Category is moms. Disney moms. Adam, go.
Bambi's mom, Dumbo's mom. 2 moms enter the Thunderdome. Only one can survive. Which of these 2 mothers, Bambi's mom or Dumbo's mom, is going to make it?
Dumbo's mom.
Paul?
That's what I went with as well.
How? Is it because of the song?
The
She has a
The song.
I'm going on the amount of tears that fell out of my eyes,
Oh, yeah.
and that was Bambi's mom. Bambi's
Yeah.
mom produced the most tears out of my eyes.
When she gingerly strokes his face with her trunk, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Also, an elephant versus a deer? Come on.
Yeah, but you don't know this, but Bambi's mom actually has a shiv tucked into her leg fur.
Did not know that. Did
Yeah.
not know that. But also, Bambi's mom has 1,000 pounds on. No, reverse that. Dumbo's mom has 1,000 pounds on Bambi's mom.
Right, right. Okay.
You know what I mean.
All right. Disney moms. Patrick, go.
Sarabi from The Lion King versus Kanga from Winnie the Pooh.
Kanga wins. Kanga's high kicks are powerful strong.
True.
Also, Roo is permanently a baby, and he needs Kanga. Simba is fully grown now. Spoiler
true.
alert. So,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sarabi, bye.
See, now I'm going to differ. I'm going to go with Sarabi. I think that Life and Pride Rock has made her street smart, wise to the ways of the world.
She's a hardened woman.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go with that.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Paul. But okay.
Wow, our first different answer.
Yeah. We've parted ways here, and
you sure did.
We shall never regain our friendship, Paul. I'm sorry. This is
just agree to disagree. It's fine.
Category 3 in Disney Thunderdome: hot Disney dudes animated.
How can you narrow it down to 2?
Well, we did. Patrick, go.
Flynn Rider versus Prince Naveen.
Prince Naveen.
Aggressive.
Prince Naveen.
Disagree. You're off the podcast.
I knew you'd disagree with that, but Prince Naveen is like fine. His eyes are like amber. Oh, he's so hot.
And then when he turns into a human, he's even hotter.
You know, I got me a frog fetish. Paul.
See, now I'm going to go with Flynn Rider.
Thank you. You're correct.
I like the kind of quirky, nerdy kind of aspect to him.
Mm-hmm. You mean Eugene? Please.
Paul came correct. Adam, you're wrong.
You know what's interesting though is that they're both scoundrels, kind of in a way. Like Flynn is a thief at the beginning
they're
of the
both
movie.
kind of anti-heroes.
And Naveen is like a playboy, kind of like doesn't really want to do anything work related.
And they're both very attracted to me.
Oh, well, this is great because I can have Naveen all to myself then, and you guys can fight over Flynn or share him.
Oh, that just took a weird turn.
My turn. I'm also going to go Flynn.
Uh-oh.
And I'm also throwing Prince Eric at you.
How very dare you.
I know, this one would be tough for you.
How very dare you make me choose.
Man.
Think about it. You got Flynn.
Yeah.
But then you got Prince Eric, who's like beloved and kind of like the original Disney heartthrob.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He had a statue made after him.
He definitely did. And the way he played that lute, was it a lute or a flute that he throws into the ocean?
You know what? And he's a cute dog.
He does have a cute dog.
I do like a hot man with a dog.
Yeah.
I'm going Flynn.
Oh, you're staying true to your man.
You know what? The way he rides that axe in the parade, in the Disney Festival of Fantasy parade.
Yeah, he does ride that axe.
I'm into it. Into it. I'll watch that parade from both sides of the street just to get a front view and a back view of one Flynn rider.
Paul, what about you? Prince Eric or Flynn?
I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Eric.
Yeah, I would go with Eric too.
He's like the OG Disney heartthrob. So got to go classic.
Yeah. I like you, but you're very wrong.
He stabs a giant Ursula with a ship, Patrick. He stabs her.
Flynn gave up his life for his love, though.
Yeah, okay. That's okay, too. That's pretty cool.
And he's hotter.
Last category in Disney Thunderdome.
Last category. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Thrill rides.
That's right. Walt Disney World, right?
Walt Disney World. Thrill rides.
Thrill rides.
Okay.
Go.
Am I giving or receiving first?
You give first.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Tower of Terror at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Rock and Roller Coaster, also at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Oh, my goodness.
They're right next door to each other. Which one is going to survive the Thunderdome?
I'm going Tower of Terror.
That's the correct choice. Paul?
No question. Tower of Terror.
Yeah. I love Rock and Roller Coaster.
It's got a dear place in my heart.
Yeah, but
Tower of Terror makes me poop, pee, laugh, cry, sneeze, everything.
Things. That's a lot of things coming out of your body all at once.
I'm all the dwarfs and then some.
I can't imagine sitting next to you, the kind of like deluge of fluids coming at the person sitting next to you.
I can't recommend smelling anything near me 5 minutes after that ride.
Also, Tower of Terror has the story, right? Like, I mean, Aerosmith is fine, but it has like the amazing story and like the incredible kind of spooky.
Also, there's that fun fact of like if you have a quarter and you drop it during the ride, it'll float in midair.
It levitates and
have you heard of that?
I have heard that.
So it's got magic as well.
I didn't know about that.
It's bananas
because of gravity. Because you're actually being pulled down faster than gravity will fall.
Yeah, I know what gravity is, Patrick.
Well, gravity. Okay. Well, great. Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, brother.
Didn't know that about you.
Okay, so we all agree on that one.
I agree. That ride has some of the best special effects of any ride, and I'm a sucker for that.
Another fun fact is if you look at the ghost girl, she's holding a stuffed Mickey Mouse in her hand.
What? I never noticed.
Yep.
I'm too busy anticipating the drop.
Yeah, you're too busy holding in your poop and pee.
Pretty much.
Whereas Patrick just lets it go.
I just let it all flow. Let it go. Let it go.
All right, Patrick, give us your 2 Walt Disney World thrill rides entering the Thunderdome.
Big Thunder Mountain versus Space Mountain. Mountain it out. Go.
Big Thunder Mountain.
Space Mountain.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the controversy on this one.
Yeah, Paul, we have disagreed so much tonight.
We have. It's okay, though.
It's okay. You're right. We're learning a lot about each other, and we're going to grow from this.
It's not okay. Fight it out.
We're going to have our own Thunderdome now.
Only one can leave.
Why Space Mountain, Paul?
Well, some of it is kind of sentimental, nostalgic value. I shared at the beginning of the podcast that was one of the rides we went on my first trip to Walt Disney World. So there's a little bit of that element to it. And plus, I just like that sort of retro vision of space travel.
That's so lovely. Yawn. What's your excuse for Big Thunder Mountain?
Well, I think Big Thunder Mountain has incredible theming. You're in the great outdoors. You're going fast, but there's also a great story behind it. It gives incredible views of fireworks at night if you happen to catch that. And I love the wildest ride in the wilderness.
It's true. It's true. Also, the guys who work that ride are in the cowboy outfits, and that's lovely.
That is true. That's a good point.
So we've agreed that Paul's wrong.
That's right. Paul, you're wrong.
Apparently I'm wrong.
The hosts have declared it, and therefore you must leave this podcast recording.
Bye.
Oh, he's walking out. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, what's that one finger? What's he pointing at with that middle finger?
If you have suggestions about what Disney attractions, characters, or experiences should enter the Thunderdome, please reach out to us. You can find us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can email us at info@gazedothed.com.
Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I had a blast.
You're perfect.
Oh, you're perfect.
Thank you.
You're perfecter.
I know.
That will do it for this episode of Gaze Do the D. Thanks for listening. Ratings and reviews are greatly appreciated and help people find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, and Stitcher. Continue the conversation after the episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast and on our website at gazedothed.com. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gazedothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.